Madridistas, today is the kickoff of what is my favorite competition, and I believe is your favorite competition too, the Champions League. Number 16, it is loading. This will be the year that Real Madrid wins number 16 for European titles. At least I hope so. But we get to see today who Real Madrid will be facing in the 8 league phase games. And here's the thing, there's a couple of names out there that are we even surprised that we will be facing? Of course, Real Madrid, we get a tough draw. But I think there's a lot of interesting things in this draw too, a couple storylines too. And let me just give you my initial thoughts on the draw for Real Madrid and what I kind of expect in terms of where we should be finishing in the league phases. So Madridistas, of course, I will be covering all the Champions League games, giving you my match preview, my match reaction, of course, my live instant reaction right after the Champions League game for Real Madrid. So if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and let's talk about the lineup and talk about the 8 games that Real Madrid will be actually facing in these league phases. Here's the thing. For number 1, are we even surprised? Take a look with me on the screen now. Manchester City is game number 1, at least is the first order because they were in pot number 1 for Real Madrid. That is not a surprise at all. Liverpool away, Trent going back to Anfield. That is a storyline in itself too. Juventus at home, and then we have Benfica away, and then it is Marseille at home, Olympiacos away, Monaco at home, and then the newcomer, Kairat Almaty, to end it off for Real Madrid. Now, here's the thing. This is not exactly the order that we will actually be facing, but this is actually where the pots go. So let's go one by one and tell you some of my thoughts about some of these games. First of all, Manchester City. Are we even surprised? When I was going to be making my prediction coming into this too, I said, of course, we're going to be facing off against Man City, because why wouldn't we? In the last 7 years, we've faced off against Manchester City 6 times. This is a new rivalry for Real Madrid with this team, and I hope we beat their ass once again. That's what I'm hoping for, but I think that's going to be a very, very good test for Real Madrid, going against Holland, going against a team that has some talented players too. Reinders is there now. They got Cherki there now. Marmoush, I want to see how Marmoush looks against Real Madrid again. And so I think it's going to be a very interesting thing to see for Real Madrid versus Manchester City. A ton of storylines going against them. Xabi Alonso versus Pep too. And the thing is, I expect Manchester City to lose, especially if they're coming to the Santiago Bernabeu against Real Madrid. Right now, Manchester City, they have a lot of good players, but they're still kind of adjusting and making some different changes to that back line. Man, if we think Barcelona has a bad back line, Manchester City might put them for a running for that one too. That will be a very interesting game, but I would definitely be favoring Real Madrid when it comes to that one. Now, the next one, I think this could be a toss-up. And I would be guessing that Real Madrid will be the underdog as we head back to Anfield, back-to-back seasons for Real Madrid heading to Anfield, and it is Trent Alexander-Arnold's return to Anfield, to his boyhood club, and this has so many storylines around it too. Liverpool is probably one of the favorites to be winning this thing, to be honest with you two. They added Ekitike. They added all these big name signings. Might be 007 right now with Florian Wirtz. We'll see what happens this weekend. But they have a lot of big signings too. And there's a possibility before the end of this window that they could be adding Alexander Isak to that team. So that is going to be a very, very fascinating game and a very, very tough game for Real Madrid. That is the one game, I think, out of this entire 8 games right now, that Real Madrid will probably be the underdog. I think every other game, I think Real Madrid will be the favorite. Now, will we be winning those games? I hope so. But we'll talk about those now. And let's talk Juventus at home. Juventus, historically, we've been facing off them in some of these Champions League finals and stuff like that. Juventus has kind of fallen off a cliff. I'll just be honest with you two. It has not looked as good for them in Serie A, and then in the Champions League too. They've been struggling. I don't think this Juventus team is all that good right now. We will see what they add over the summer too, see if they get a couple players over the line. But Juventus coming into the Santiago Bernabeu, that should be a game that we should be dominating. And you know what? That's a game I would not mind going to. That one too. But we will see what happens. And then we travel to Benfica, traveling to Portugal too. And Benfica is loaded with young talent too. Could I tell you exactly who? Not today, but there's so many different talented players that have come out of there. Joao Neves has come out of there recently. Enzo Fernandez too. We just got Alvaro Carreras from there too, so it will be a return to Benfica for Alvaro Carreras. I think that's an interesting storyline going into that one too. Maybe he can give us some hints, but Real Madrid, we should be able to travel to Portugal, and we should be able to beat Benfica, I would think. And hopefully pretty easily too. And then we have Marseille at home. And here's the thing. This was the team that was linked to Dani Ceballos. So if that actually does go through, I don't think it will. That would be a very, very interesting thing to see. Dani Ceballos coming back to Real Madrid, back to the Santiago Bernabeu, but do not expect Dani Ceballos to be leaving. Marseille, they're a good team over there in France, but it should be a game that Real Madrid is winning. And then it goes to Olympiacos. And Olympiacos over there in Greece, that will be a tough away game for Real Madrid. That's probably the sleeper game. I would say don't be that surprised if that's a draw. And I hate to be saying that. Honestly, I want Real Madrid to be winning every single game. There's never a game that I wish Real Madrid would lose. But Olympiacos away, that might be a difficult game too for Real Madrid. They are the champions of Greece, and so this is not an easy pull for us at all. And then we have Monaco at home. A couple storylines there. Kylian Mbappe, of course, played there before. Tchouaméni, too. And they added a couple players, too. One of my favorite players of all time, Paul Pogba. We'll see exactly the fitness of Paul Pogba against Real Madrid. I think that will be a very interesting game, but again, at home in the Santiago Bernabeu. We should be winning that one. We should be winning that one. And then the last team, if I butcher the name, guys, I am sorry. Kairat Almaty. Kairat Almaty. I will get better as the game gets closer to. They are a team from Kazakhstan. This is the first time they're actually a part of the Champions League, according to at least the video, the live stream that I was watching too. So if they are lying, I'm sorry to be lying to you too. But that should be a game, honestly, if that is the final game of the window of the games that we should dominate, and there should be like literally zero questions. That should be a game that we should be able to rotate, because I'm sorry. There should never even be a close competition between Real Madrid and the team from Kazakhstan. No offense to the teams from Kazakhstan. No offense to anybody who's watching from Kazakhstan. It's just we're talking about Real Madrid. We're talking about Real Madrid here. So when it comes to these games, again, I think Manchester City and Liverpool are going to be very, very tough games, especially that away day at Anfield. That is going to be an incredibly tough game for Real Madrid. The Trent storyline is going to be fascinating. I will tell you what, he's going to get booed. He was getting booed already when he was a player there. Even before he was announcing that he was leaving, he was getting booed. I think that is a storyline I think that's a game that's going to have so many different storylines too. And here's the thing. Real Madrid should be able to cook them. I'll just be honest with you. Vinny versus Frimpong. If Vinny can get in form, Frimpong is a horrible defensive right back. He's good on the attack, and he might cause us some issues too. Carreras will be somebody we need to be watching out for. In Liverpool, they have some good players out there too. The Konate storyline, I didn't even mention that, is the possibility that he might be coming to Real Madrid next summer for free. Back-to-back summers that a Liverpool player comes for free. That's an interesting thing. Mo Salah versus us again. Does he actually deliver? Does he get a pen? Does he miss a pen again? We will see what happens. But that is the game that I think I am most looking forward to. I think that is going to be a huge test for Real Madrid. And when it comes to the Champions League, and when it comes to us getting this draw, Manchester City and Liverpool are two of the tougher teams that Real Madrid could have drawn when it comes to the Premier League teams that we got. I mean, I'm not saying I want to be challenged when it comes to the Champions League. I want Real Madrid to be challenged because I think there's a couple of things that unfortunately these two Prem teams don't really offer, and that's strong defense. I don't think either of those teams, Man City or Liverpool, are very strong defensively at all. And that is something. I kind of wish we were playing Arsenal. I'm not sure. I kind of wish it was over City just because we've played City every single time. I think it would have been a really good game for Real Madrid to go against a Arsenal who has a fantastic back line and very good goalkeeper, very, very good center backs too, and kind of be a different challenge for Real Madrid. These games realistically should be pretty open. I could see maybe Monaco sitting back. I mean, I'm expecting the Kazakhstan team to be sitting back too. But Man City and Liverpool should be very, very open games that Real Madrid, we need to be able to score. We need to be able to absolutely dominate these teams too. But guys, I am very, very curious what your thoughts are on the initial draw for Real Madrid. Who's the competition that you were most looking forward to facing? Again, for me, it's got to be Liverpool. Back to Anfield too. So many storylines in that one. And that should be a very fascinating game for me. But I want to hear from you in the comments. Now, what's my expectations where I think Real Madrid should be finishing when it comes to the league phases? Here's the thing. Last time we were out there for the league phases, we had to go to the playoffs. It was not a good look for Real Madrid. And realistically, Real Madrid, we should be finishing top 5 minimum. The only teams that I could even see above us, PSG. I could see Barcelona maybe going one-on-one with us. Maybe Bayern Munich too. But Bayern Munich has to play PSG and stuff like that too. Inter fell off a little bit too. So for me, for my expectations for Real Madrid, we 100% need to be finishing in that top 8 where we do not have to do a playoff or anything like that. We can get the extra rest that we did not afford last year. And really, there's no excuses for Real Madrid not to be finishing top 5. Honestly, who's the teams ahead of us that could be going ahead? PSG, Barcelona maybe, depending on their draw too. I haven't taken a look at their draw. But there's only a couple of teams that are actually better. I mean, even maybe Liverpool too. So top 5 is my expectations for Real Madrid. I'm not saying if we don't get top 5, fire Xabi Alonso or anything like that. But that's realistically where we should be facing and finishing, because it's honestly pathetic right now. I'm doing it live, baby. I'm seeing what was the top ones last year. When taking a look last year, it's not even going to tell me. It's not even going to tell me. So this is not great. This is not great content. So sorry about that, guys, but it is what it is. We should be facing in the top. We should be finishing in the top 5. That's my expectations. That should be the expectations for all Madridistas out there too, where we should be finishing. But I want to hear from you in the comments below. What game are you most excited for? What did you think of the draw? Are you surprised that we got Manchester City at all? I'm not. But guys, let me know in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Like the video, and my match preview for the Mallorca game will be coming out very, very soon. So stay tuned for that, guys. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Cheers. Al Madrid.